A proposed amendment to Title IX could give transgender students the ability to play school sports. For Indiana kids, they've been unable to do so after a state law stopped them from going out for teams last year. Tonight, our Rachel Krause explains the proposed change and how this could impact transgender students around the country.
The past year has been a frustrating one for the Clausen family.
It has been very hard for Kieran. She has basically said a few times, "Why do all the adults in the state hate me?"
After the Indiana GOP passed a law last year banning transgender females from playing school sports, that will prevent Beth and Nathaniel's 10-year-old daughter Kieran, a transgender girl, from playing on school teams like her classmates.
She is very worried that she's not going to be able to get to play sports with her friends.
The Clausens say Kieran has always known who she was, and she transitioned 7 years ago.
Since she has been able to communicate, she has been living as herself. And for people to try and say that she has to deny who she is in this one specific area when she's just a kid wanting to play games. I think that's what people keep forgetting, especially with sports, is that they're just kids.
The U.S. Department of Education's proposed amendment to Title IX would change that. The amendment says policies banning transgender students from participating on sports teams because of their gender identity violates Title IX, which prevents discrimination in education.
In 2020, the United States Supreme Court said, look, discrimination on the basis of trans status is discrimination on the basis of sex. You can't do it. And it's an equal protection violation, but it's also a violation under Title VII. So the Department of Education is basically just making Title IX consistent again with Title VII and consistent with the United States Constitution.
But now Governor Eric Holcomb is joining 24 other governors coming out against the change, saying neither states or schools should be subjected to a fluid and uncertain standard. But law professor Jennifer Droback says Title IX itself wasn't widely accepted when it was implemented 50 years ago. She says now it's hard to imagine discriminating based on race or sex. The Clausens hope to see this change to Title IX implemented and the law changed so kids like Kieran can hit the field with her classmates too.
Yeah, I don't think that people would see a difference. I think it would make the playing field level for everyone.
So, Rachel, is this proposed amendment to Title IX final?
It's not. The Department of Education will need to go through a process of hearings and public comments before they're able to approve anything. And Professor Droback stressed that it is expected to be approved, however, based on the precedent set by the Supreme Court's 2020 ruling on the Bostock case. Congress could change Title IX as well, but she says that's very unlikely that it would happen.
We'll be following that story. Rachel Krause in studio. Thanks.